Hello and welcome to the GameDev Outpost. In this video, we'll be learning to play the project in Unreal 4. We'll start with setting up a main camera, playing the project, and then we'll finish with play settings. From here, you could just go ahead and play the project, but you would be using the default player start. And that's not what we want. We want a camera that we can work with. So we're going to delete the player start, and then we're going to come over to the modes panel, and we're going to select all classes. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see camera. And we're going to drag that in. Now as soon as you drag that in, you'll notice a preview window in the viewport, and this is useful for aligning your camera to how you want it. Now if you were to go and try and play the project now, you'd be seeing things from your viewport angle. To make sure that your camera is being used, you want to come over to the details panel, and you want to scroll down until you see auto player activation. And under this drop down, you want to choose player 0. And now when you play the project, you'll be seeing things from your camera. If you watch the viewport display options video, under the camera settings, you should see some settings that look familiar. So there's the projection mode, perspective or orthographic, and then you have your field of view, and under here, this is where you can change your aspect ratio for your camera. There's a slider, and then next to that, there's a drop down for some common options. To play the project, you can come up to the toolbar and you can click on the play icon, or you can press Alt-P on the keyboard, and that will play your game. And then when you're in play mode, you have a few more options. You can pause the game, you can resume, you can frame skip, progressing through your game frame by frame. And then all the way at the end here, we have eject. You can click on this, or you can hit F8 on the keyboard. This will eject you from your game back into the viewport while your game is played or paused. And just the same, you can jump back into your game if you click on the possess icon or hit F8. And then the last option for us is to stop the game. You can click on the stop icon, or you can hit escape on the keyboard. Next to the play icon, there's a drop down. And if you click on this, you get a few different options for playing your game. Some of these require you to save your project. So we're going to do that now. You go to File, Save Current, and then we want to give our level a name and save it. So under the play drop down, we've been playing from the selected viewport. The next option we have is mobile preview. You can run this now and you'll see things, but this is meant for a more involved setup. Next, we have new editor window. This will give us a detached window to play our game. And then we have VR preview. This requires some setup as well. And then we have standalone game. This will end up launching a new window, but it'll be outside of the engine. And then the last option we have is simulate. This will let you simulate your game and move around the engine while your game is still playing. It's exactly like ejecting from play mode. The last thing to cover are the play settings. So if you go back to that drop down and you come all the way down and click on Advanced Settings, you'll be in your editor preferences for playing. Now I recommend looking into more of the settings in here, but the main thing I want to point out are the game viewport settings. This is where you can change your initial resolution for your window size versus your camera, which is just set to an aspect ratio. In here you have some common options related to different devices, and then next to that you can choose whether it's landscape or portrait. And then if you want, you can just put in the values that you see fit. So once again, when you set those values, you're setting the window size. And then with your camera, you're setting an aspect ratio. That's why you see these black bars when we play. Alright, that should cover playing the project. If you guys liked this video and it was helpful, please let me know by commenting down below and liking the video. Thanks guys.